JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. Self-employed, grab the PPP EZ forgiveness application. Let's walk through it together. You're going to be amazed at how quickly you are going to be able to complete this and then hand that puppy in and consider it put to bed. So you can go to my community service website, jjthecpahelp.com. There is a self-employment forgiveness PPP page. On that page, there is an icon that says PPP EZ form. Go and print that or take a look at that, follow along. Even if you can't, I'm gonna show you how easy this is, that you're gonna be amazed. So no booby traps. You don't have to give me your email to get that form. All right, you ready? Because I think your mind's gonna be blown how easy this is, and it should be because you deserve it, and it's gonna get you to full forgiveness, 100% forgiveness. Hey, before we pop into this, here's one of the things that's really excellent about the PPP for the self-employed, the Schedule C filer, and it's this. This is tax-free to you, and you do not have to reflect it on your 2020 tax return. It does not reduce down your expenses. Why is that key? Well, for employers, okay, that have employees, it's not that it's taxable to them, but they have to reduce down, according to the IRS, their expenses, which in essence does ding them tax-wise. You're gonna get dinged zero. So you're gonna be able to achieve 100% forgiveness with no taxable consequence and not reducing down your deductions. Hey, before I run into or go over this with you, if you're not a subscriber, take a second, hit subscribe, turn the notifications on, and then at the end of this, I'm gonna tell you how you could actually win $1,000. Okay, hey, so what we're talking about here is on the EZ, we're looking at it from the self-employed, that's the Schedule C filer. So let's look at what numbers we are talking about here. I'll step aside as well if you wanna do a screenshot of this. So I know we have a lot of Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, hope you're doing well. A lot of you maybe are watching this during break. So take a screenshot of this right now and then take a screenshot of it at the end so that you can maybe refresh if you're not right where you can pull out the form and go through this. But you can come back to this with your form, with your numbers. You'll be able to complete this. You'll be ready to go. All right, so a couple of things. You do need to have your Schedule C, okay? 2019, right? You should already have that anyways because of the fact that that's how you get your PPP to start with. So for Schedule C, assume that your net income is $48,000. So line 31 is $48,000. So to get your loan, right? Because you would have already done this, PPP's closed to get it. You would have taken line 31 divided by 12 months by a factor of 2.5, and your loan would be $10,000. Now guess what? Your PPP forgiveness you're gonna see is gonna be that same amount. So we're gonna take and we're gonna go, well, what are your payroll costs, which is line 1 of the EZ PPP forgiveness form. So what's your payroll cost? Well, believe it or not, it's exactly the same calculation. It's line 31 divided by 12 times 2.5, it's 10,000. Now I want you to make sure when I get to the end of this, I'm gonna show you what you need to do to make sure that you get to choose that calculation, because there's actually 2 calculations that the self-employed can choose from. This is the one that gets you to full forgiveness by doing the 24-week option. But once I go through the calculation, I'll tell you how to make sure you are getting the 24-week option. Even though you're not gonna see 24 in here, okay? Make sure when I go through the calculation, you hear how to ensure you get to use that calculation. All right, so what is then the payroll cost that you get to include as a self-employed? Well, it's Schedule C, line 31, divided by 12 times 2.5. So it's actually then the same amount. So $10,000. So guess what? You're already ahead of me, right? Because this is also your loan amount. So you're already at full forgiveness. We do have to just run through the math. So you don't need to worry about interest. Put a 0. Rent, okay? Utilities, put a 0. If for some reason you have it and it's easy, but if you have a home office, why are you even messing with it? You already got full forgiveness here, okay? Point is that if for some reason you have a separate office, you're paying rent, you can easily show it, you want to include it, well then go for it. However, what's the point? Because you're already at full forgiveness. So line 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're just listing out the qualified expenses. You're going to add those together. Okay? That's it. That's line 5. You're going to add it together. Now, this is the other most crucial part. Most crucial. Even though it shouldn't make a difference, but if you don't calculate it correctly, you're actually just taking a hammer to your thumb because you could mess up the whole thing. But it's so easy, I'm telling you right now. Even though I'm like, don't do this, do it right. I'm telling you, it's super easy. But what I need you to remember is that you are going to take line 1, you're going to divide it by 0.6. Okay, so if you have your calculator, you're gonna put in $10,000 divided by, not times, divided by 0.6. Okay, so if we do that, then it's 16,667. Why is that so important? Well, if you times it, if you take line 1 times 60%, then it's $6,000. Okay, that's not the right calculation. It's divided by. Now, what's your forgiveness amount? It's the lesser of these 3 lines. So it's the lesser of the total of those, your loan, or line 1 divided by 0.6. So the lesser of is $10,000, and you just got 100% loan forgiveness. See, if you do the math wrong and you do it times 6, well, the lesser of those 3 would be 6,000. So all you got to remember is that it's divided by 0.6. Another way to know that you did it right is that line 7 should be higher than line 5. It should be higher than line 5. Then you know you did it right. Now you have full forgiveness. You sign the certifications on the second page. At the top of your PPP forgiveness is you're putting loan number, basic info about you. But then I told you at the end of this calculation, the way that you get to choose and use this, okay, for this is you have to elect the 24-week option. So how do you do that? Well, on that page 1 of your EZ application, it says, what's your covered period? And it's so easy, but your covered period, no matter what, no matter when you're handing in this application, no matter what, is your disbursement date plus 24 weeks. Okay, so you take 7 times 24, okay, 168. Amanda, 7 times 24, double check me, 168. 168. Didn't want to tell you wrong. So you take your disbursement date plus 168 days. It's plus 24 weeks. Okay? It doesn't matter that you're going to hand it in and that's a date way in the future. Doesn't matter. Because by choosing and putting the 24-week period, it allows you to use this calculation. If you don't put the 24-week period, then you have to use a different calculation that you will not automatically achieve full forgiveness. So you don't even need to understand that, just disbursement date plus 168 days, which is disbursement date plus 24 weeks, same thing. You run through this and you are at full forgiveness, my friend, which you deserve. All right, hey, so I told you about this as promised. So I got a book that I just published, Cracking the CPA Code. You can find it on Amazon.com. I'm glad that you didn't click off because all you have to do is this. Go to Amazon, you can search JJ the CPA, buy my book, send me an email at jj@jjthecpa.com, and what you're gonna send me is the receipt, and then your name's in the hat to win $1,000. And then on my live show, which you must be present to win, meaning you have to be on the live show, we have a way to verify it with you. But on September 11th, between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time, I'm gonna pull the name out of the hat. The winner gets $1,000, could be you. On all my social media, I have some other contests going on where you can win $100, and if you win that, you also get a name in the hat to win that $1,000. All right, hey, if you're not subscribing, look at all the value that I'm putting out there. You know that it is. I'm hoping that I helped you. I'm a practicing CPA, got 27 years of experience. I'm doing this with my clients. I'm not really doing it for the video or coming up with it to tell somebody on a video. I'm doing this with my clients. So I've got the 411. All right, hey, did I already ask you if you should subscribe? Well, I would appreciate it if you would. All right, hey, don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. All right, have a great day.
CPA, you never met.